Hey, I'm Nicholas Prom,
I'm Chase.
and you're watching Posers Must Die, our latest adventures in the exciting and kick-ass world of heavy metal. This is episode 100. That gesture doesn't signify 100, but it's the 100th episode of this program. And so Chase and I decided to do kind of a special episode to mark the occasion. It's history time. We're going to go back to the 80s and talk about the P.M.R.C., the Parents Music Resource Center, a, uh, a, a group in the Reagan era that was trying to censor music. And wow, that sucks. But we're going to talk about it. My intro, not very good here. I'm just kind of getting warmed up here. I will say, I'm going to give the very ironic content warning. This show is somewhat explicit generally, but given the overt sexual nature of many of the songs we're going to discuss tonight, because we're going to go through their entire Filthy 15, plus five heavy metal songs written in response to the PMRC. Um, yeah, so it's going to be a bit raw as far as some of the language that we're going to use. So whatever, I can give you that heads up. And again, very ironic, I know, given what we're talking about here. So yeah, but Tipper Gore and several other senators' wives um, started this group in 1985, and they really were they wanted to go after uh, they're very music in general, but clearly heavy metal was a big target. You know, it kind of coincides with a lot of the other, like the Satanic Panic crap from the 80s and other just kind of like conservative nonsense. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. Here, I'll pull up the infographic of the Filthy 15 songs themselves. I'll put that in large. So yeah, we've got it's an interesting list, I will say, because clearly they're going after a lot of very mainstream artists, but also there's some uh, it's a fair mix of heavy metal and pop. But while we're getting lots of like household names like Judas Priest and Motley Crue, we also have like some artists that are somewhat obscure even among the pop realm, like the Mary Jane Girls are pretty like, huh, who? Uh, but um, but yes, I think we will have an interesting discussion here. First off, so the Filthy 15, they proposed a rating system to kind of like to put on records, uh, and this was kind of a rough thing where rated X for uh, profanity or sexually explicit themes, V for violent. Interesting, they said violent, not violence, but uh, let's see, O for the occult, which is hilarious to me because like that's not a thing that's real. It is fantasy. But that's Reagan's America for you, or that's just America in general. Lame. Uh, and then let's see, I think D/A for drugs and alcohol. These are the only things they were concerned about, the big concerns. And if you look at this list, it is 9 of the 15 songs. They are really, really worried about you knowing that sex exists and that you could potentially have it. Uh, but but yeah, let's just go through the songs. Um, Let me see. Sorry. First off, we have Judas Priest with the song "Eat Me Alive" from Defenders of the Faith. Um, yeah. Chase, why don't you start?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying, honestly, I see where the PMRC is coming from in terms of like a rating system for music, because movies had it, eventually video games got it. Why couldn't music have it? And the thing is that I think 13 out of the 15 songs, I agree that yes, those things are in the song. Uh,
Yeah.
but oh well, if you slap
right?
a sticker on it, whatever, or as a parent, it's kind of my job. I have kids. It's my job to know what my kids are into, and if I don't like it, then they don't get to listen to it. But like straight wanting people to like either change lyrics or not sing about specific song or specific subjects is bullshit. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck
it is.
that.
Yeah. So,
Okay, but in terms of in terms of Judas Priest though, song is totally sexual. Yeah, it is. I don't give a
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
But what I find funny about it is that Rob didn't come out until like '98.
something
So
like
it's
that.
kind
Yeah,
of funny that they're just pissed off about he's like putting a girl at gunpoint and making him do stuff to her or whatever. And it's like actually how disturbed would they have been to find out that he's actually singing about another dude,
right. Well,
possibly.
so I want to come back to this very thing, but I want to touch on what you brought up before. Like, the history of moral panics in this country, it is, you can always set your watch to it. It is always like the new thing that the previous generation didn't have. It starts in the 1800s with dime novels, which were the precursors to the pulps. Then it was the movies, then it was
Yeah.
radio, and you know, and on and on. It gets to be jazz or rock and roll, or we get to the 80s, it's heavy metal. Um, but then it was, violent video games or whatever dumb thing now, and ultimately it just goes back to like the puritanical roots of this country. Like they always say like the Pilgrims came to this America to here for religious freedom. It's like no, this was this group of like total tight asses who were like religious fanatics, that left England because England was too libertine for them, which is crazy. Um,
Yeah, that I was like technically that's not wrong. They did leave for religious freedom. What they kind of left out was that they were exactly, they were a little too much for everybody. Yeah, get on the
yeah,
boat. Go ahead. Bye.
yeah, bye. Now, granted, there's a disconnect there. The Pilgrims didn't really found this country,
Yeah, yeah.
but they were some of the early colonists. But um, you know, colonies existed here for a long ass time before the United States became a country, long before our revolution. Hundreds of years even. But uh, but I'm kind of getting off in the weeds here. But you touched on something. It's like, yeah, as a parent, it is your right and your responsibility, not the government's.
Exactly.
Anytime, okay, and that's your prerogative to say, no, this is not for my little Johnny or little Susie, but that's your right to make a decision. You should never, the onus of responsibility shouldn't be just handed off to the government to legislate your own responsibilities away from you. Uh,
Yeah.
and and the people banning books or banning records or whatever, never the good guys. Anyone suppressing information or trying to decide for you what ideas that you can hear about or know about or whatever, like that's wrong. It's fascistic. And we are going to be talking about this, I think, all night. But yeah, this specific song, it's funny because on the surface you think like, yeah, that is deplorable if you're taking it at face value of thinking it's a
Exactly. Yeah.
heterosexual man literally holding someone at gunpoint, forcing them to perform oral sex on you. That's terrible. Okay, that's some P Diddy shit. He actually did that.
Oh
He
God.
no, he pistol whipped a guy. He did some event at FAO Schwarz in New York City, the big toy store, and
Oh,
back in some back room, he pistol whipped some guy, made him give him BJ just because he could. He humiliated this guy. Yeah,
fucking
yeah, that's
hell.
terrible. But anyway, Rob Halford didn't do that. This song is, now look, I wouldn't have written this song, even if I was in his position, okay? Because it's so easy to misinterpret it. But again, that's the whole thing. It's like somebody telling you shouldn't have this when it's like you don't know what it's about in the first place. It is a closeted gay man expressing his sexual frustration in a fantasy scenario, you know? You know,
Yeah.
the other guys in Judas Priest, straight guys, they were getting groupies all the time. And Rob, who felt like he had to hide who he was to make sure the Judas Priest didn't fall apart. Yeah, he was not getting any action. And so, yeah, it's just a song about his frustration. And so, but I understand its inclusion on this list, but yeah, it's like you don't know, and also like, oh boo hoo, like does the album come with a gun and instructions to go, get somebody in your neighborhood to blow you? No, like
Wow.
yeah. So I just yeah, I am against I'm against censorship, even though like it's my least favorite song on this album. Musically, it's rocking, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's bullshit. Do we want to move on to the next song, Chase?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I could read it off if you'd like.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Uh, off off of uh, off of Motley Crue's 1983 album "Shout at the Devil," we have "Bastard."
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, it's a Motley Crue song. If you don't know what Motley Crue, who they are, what they're about, then oh, you might be shocked by it. But I mean, it's bog standard shit. And this is on a personal note. That "Quick as a Shark" line kind of makes me upset because this came out in a year after "Fast as a Shark."
Oh, by
So
accept. Yeah. Yeah.
watching,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, those are just words. But yeah, I mean, like the PMRC said, like they earmarked they chose this one because it's violent. Because I guess there's like talk about like knife fights and stuff in it. But
the
it's
opening
what.
line.
Yeah. But also, like the word bastard used to be just so shocking, right? Like you say bastard right before you punch somebody's lights out. It's not
Yeah.
like it wasn't like it was a terrible thing. Or remember when in Back to the Future when the Libyans killed Doc Brown, and then Marty's like, you
Yeah.
bastards, yeah. But like it's pretty ridiculous to again it's even if they were like saying like, "Hey, go have a knife fight," like uh, so what? You should be able to sing about anything, write a song about anything, and not have any barriers between you and uh, people who would want to hear it.
Yeah, and
You
like
know,
you could write a song about whatever you want, but you're going to get some eyebrows raising if it's about particular things. But you
sure,
have the right to make that art. Just
right, and I
yeah,
think
yeah,
the the move of the PMRC was to kind of like, well, if we have this censoring, this rating system, then we can eliminate this sort of thing from being created. You have to remember, okay, you talked about, the moving pictures, have like a rating system, but before the MPAA rating of films, there was the institution of the Hays Code, which specifically
Mm.
banned a lot of just things from being able to be in movies. Go watch like pre-code movies, some early talkies from the 30s, and there's some really fun stuff. There's some really wonderful movies. I'll just say that yeah have that they're like, hey, like that guy's gay, and that girl's dating two different guys, and people are getting drunk, and there's like suggestive things in these movies, and they're movies that are fun, and they feel like they're populated by real people, not cardboard
Here
cutouts.
we go.
You know,
Okay.
but yeah, but yes, the Motley Crue song. I'm like, it's a fine song. I'm not a huge Motley Crue guy, but Shout at the Devil, that album. If you got to have one, that's gonna be the one. Uh, but yeah, yeah, just ridiculous. Why don't we move on to? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yep.
Prince with Darling Nikki. And yeah, this is rated X for sex. And this is a song about a fun girl. I don't actually really dig this song very much. And Prince is great, but like this is kind of it's a weird song. He was a weird dude. Um,
Yeah.
but again,
We already have Super Freak. We didn't need this. Like
this definitely takes it up a notch. Prince and Rick James did have a rivalry, which sort of comes into the play on this list actually. Um, the Mary Jane Girls were the kind of the were a group that Rick put together as a rival to Vanity Six and then Vanity's solo career. believe it or
That
not.
makes sense. Okay, I'm hearing
Yeah,
it. I'm hearing
yeah.
it. And Mary Jane girls, got it. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
right there. There's no subtext. It's all text.
Yeah.
Um, but talk about Rick James, son. But no, I mean, yeah, this song is very explicit
Listen,
and yeah, I think
about three
everybody,
minutes in, there's a crazy double bass bit that's really fun. But other than
yeah,
that, I'm not really, yeah,
yeah,
not really a
yeah.
fan.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that we decided to not just talk about the heavy metal songs on this list because I think we needed that the fuller context, and also, Gary Holt from Exodus has gone on record said like Prince is his favorite guitarist, period. So
Oh,
and Gary Holt, king of thrash metal, yeah, what can you say? He's got good taste. Um, but yeah, again, I'm not a fan of this song, but I wouldn't try to keep anyone who was interested in hearing it from hearing it. And that's the difference
same.
between me and some tight ass in Washington, who you know throughout this list there will be songs. Almost all the sex songs are about like women wanting sex or sexual pleasure, and almost all of those songs are sung by women. And the insidious message really is, well, I want my daughter to grow up and marry a nice young man who voted for President Reagan, and she'll have plenty of babies, but sex is just for making babies with the lights off, and don't it's not for fun or anything, you know. And like that's crap, man. Um, what a lame life that you want for people. Um, but yeah, but darling Nikki, it's not a favorite of mine, but I I would not be opposed. I'm not opposed to its existence, and the very notion is it's not all right. It rubs me the wrong way. Um, Speaking of Prince, our
Ah,
next song at Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton, and Sheena Easton or Prince wrote this song, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the microphone's not picking up your nodding, Chase.
You're telling me how many 100 in? You tell me now? Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton, and Prince wrote it, and not hard to understand what she's talking about in this song. It's pretty.
Not at all.
Yeah. And you know what? I like this song. And it's a sexy song. I mean, like, man, I would like, hey, put this on like when you bring a girl over, like right on, Um, but no, I think this is a cool song, and yeah, of course, X for sex, but yeah.
Well,
Oh well, dang.
like it's like I before I knew that Prince wrote it, I remember listening, I remember hearing it and being like, this has elements of like "I Would Die for You" in it, another Prince
Mhm.
song. Like I totally hear that song in this song, and I actually told my dad that we were going to be talking about this,
Oh yeah.
and he was like, he had shit to say, and he
Oh.
yeah, he told me that Prince Prince is responsible for three of the songs on there, and yeah, he says he remembers hearing Sugar Walls on the radio and just snickering when he heard it the first time because yeah, no subtext.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah,
There's no explicit language, but you know
oh,
exactly what she's singing about. You know.
exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah,
And it's funny because one of the songs on this list, and we'll get to it. It's like it's fairly innocuous. So it's
yes, I
interesting.
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get
yeah.
there. We'll get there. But yeah,
It's our next one.
I
No,
like sugar. I like Sugar Walls, and yeah, no beef here. This is a
and the
cool
song's
one.
not bad either.
Hey, hey, very good.
Oh my,
Oh boy. So yeah,
fuck Hitler.
the next song. Oh boy, yeah, we have Wasp, Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, and it's so funny because like this song had to be released as a 12-inch single because they couldn't put it on their first album or they were worried about it or whatever. But yes,
Yep.
it is about exactly what you think it's about. It's pornography is referenced, and it's a male sexual fantasy. Of all the sex songs on this list, only two of them are like dudes like talking about wanting to bone down with chicks.
Yeah,
It should be noted, which is interesting, um, because really, really, the insidious message of this whole campaign is women owning their sexuality. No, women's sexuality belongs to men.
And then it's not right.
Yeah,
Because the guy's trying to jerk it to a magazine, and
yeah,
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 her husband's like,
uh,
no.
yeah. But as far as WASPs goes, this is one of their better songs, one of their
Yeah.
better known songs, and I've seen WASP twice. And they played. I know they played it the first time I saw them. I know we not when we just saw them like last year, but yeah, whatever. Guess what? You can sing about sex. What it's kind of like people like complaining about violence in movies, or excuse me, they're complaining. People like get so bent out of shape about sex or nudity in a movie, but it could have all kinds of violence, is what And George
Gotcha.
Carlin,
Yeah.
the comedian, famously said, like, "Look, I'd rather have my kids watch a movie of two people making love than two people killing each other." You know?
I have my about that, but I see where I see where he's coming from.
Right. I mean,
Um,
well, it's like, look,
yeah,
there's love scenes in James Bond movies, and there's no nudity in any of those films, So
yeah.
if
Okay,
that's,
fair
I don't,
point.
if that's what you're getting at, I'm not talking about like necessarily pornography. I'm not showing
Yeah,
like
yeah,
don't
yeah,
show adult films to your child, But
yeah.
an adult,
Okay, but like, yeah,
but a teenager picking up a record, fuck like a beast, who cares?
yeah, no
Yeah.
issue,
So
no
what were you
issue.
gonna say, Chase? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, no, no. I was gonna start a tangent about a movie like that, but I'd say stick to the music.
Yeah.
You gonna move on to our next one?
Sure, let's go with that. Let's see. We've got, oh, here we go. Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath, or the song, of course, Into the Coven. Um,
There we go.
yeah, but I love that Merciful Fate and Venom made this list. Um, that's all right, now these are our guys. But and for the same reason, but again, it's like, you know, if this song wasn't about a coven of witches, if it was a song about a wizard, like on a mountaintop, would anyone have
Yeah.
done like no, but it's the
Nope.
same bullshit. It's fantasy. The occult isn't real, you know, just
And
like God,
and
so it's
uh,
bullshit. But yeah,
I agree with everything you just said. I agree. Okay, so not, I misspoke. Not I agree, but my poser might show here for a second. But popular in America were Merciful Fate and Venom in 1985.
how were they? I
How
mean,
popular were they? Yeah.
you know what? Look, I don't think they were getting played on any radio station other than like like the late night, metal block hour,
Yeah.
or the college radio
Okay.
station. No, they're definitely underground bands. They're not.
Okay.
They're no radio
I
play. Neither had MTV videos. Venom shot a couple videos, but
yeah. So
but yeah,
I think this may have backfired a little bit. I think more people heard about Venom and Merciful Fate in America because of them being on this list than if they
yeah,
just kind of let things lie.
yeah. It's kind of funny.
So I can imagine them to be like, oh, thanks for the exposure, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and yes, and I think we'll be coming back to that as well. But the whole thing about like the occult and it's like explicit lyrics is just this kind of nonsense. Frank Zappa, who was one of the
Mm.
three musicians who actually testified in front of the congressional hearing on this whole thing. Um, not at the hearing, but on another TV appearance on the subject, he said, "It's like, look, you guys are trying to create a fascist theocracy, and that's totally what we're talking about here. Uh, uh, it's like people thinking that like people worried that like Motley Crue and Def Leppard were gonna have the same kind of impact on America's youth, and thinking that like the Beatles and Bob Dylan did. Like, forget it. It's not. It's a different animal. But it's like, but you have to think, who was the president? Ronald Reagan, who was the hippie hating governor of California in the 60s. It all makes sense because it's still part of that thing. They, uh, uh, that whole reactionary thing. And it's bullshit, man. But yeah, Merciful Fate. We love them, and yeah. So the next one we have Vanity. Now Vanity was uh, she had been the girlfriend of Prince, um, and she had her group Vanity Six, and then when they were going to make the movie Purple Rain. That Apollonia's character, who in the movie has Apollonia Six, right? That became a real group because Prince and Vanity broke up, so they recast her in the movie, and then Vanity went
There we
solo
go.
and blah blah. So, but yeah, Vanity and Vanity's song, "Strap On Robbie Baby" is pretty explicit. It's a song about a horny lady with she's either talking about strap on, buddy, we are having some fun, or she's literally talking about a
Or
sex toy. Either way, yeah,
yeah.
it is a very sexual song. But again, so what? Like, uh, yeah, just don't get it. Just don't
This,
get it.
this I saw it like I've never actually heard of Vanity or any of that. This was one of the songs that it was completely new to me.
Oh, okay.
And I listened to it, and yeah, it is. It's mass like yeah. There's no hiding what she's getting. I mean, there's some question, but in some spots it's a little more explicit. But
Yeah,
and the song itself is warm bathwater. I don't give a fuck. It's there. I
yeah.
whatever. But I did see it while I was looking through all that. I did see a picture of Vanity in a The Last Dragon shirt, and that was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Uh, I started to watch that movie one time. I was like, I'm not in the right headspace for this. This is weird. Um, but
Very good. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. Um, but I do recommend the Vanity Six song "Nasty Girl," which is as dirty a song as this, and like, but cool, right on. Keep doing that. Um, it's yeah. I mean, sing about whatever you want. But um, but yeah, the next song. Here we go. Uh, Def Leppard, "High and Dry" from the High and Dry album. Uh, Easily my favorite Def Leppard song, probably. I've always liked this song, and yeah, okay, it's about like getting drunk and maybe high too, and whatever. Uh, if you're so worried about your kids messing around with drugs and alcohol, maybe as a parent you could be involved in their lives again, rather than
Yeah.
having your responsibility pawning it off on the government. That's
No, I'm
that's
right
that's
there with
some
you.
bullshit, dude. So, but this song
Eh,
rocks, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Look, I'm almost 5 years sober, and but like, drinking is a choice. Yeah, guess what? I drank before I was 21. Um, that's kind of a rite of passage for most people. Like, this song didn't like destroy America's youth. It was probably like just like, hey, this is relatable because this is what we're doing on Friday night, like, or Saturday night or whatever, yeah, like in the song. Um,
Like Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is more destructive to America's youth than this song was.
right. Um, and it isn't. So yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, let's see. Do you have any more thoughts on this one, Chase, or no? Okay. Yeah, I've
That's
always liked
pretty
this
much it.
song. Always liked this song. But yeah, then of course we have Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. Let me tell you, one of my greatest dreams in life is to never hear this song again. Uh, but uh, but it's so dumb that they like mark this song for like violence, and I'm like, all it is they're talking. There's nothing violent in the lyrics. They're all just like, we're gonna stand up for what we want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the person I want to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the real danger. But it's like they watched the music video, where
Exactly.
there's cartoon violence where dad gets thrown out the window and pushed down the stairs and stuff.
Niedermeyer gets Looney Tunes out a window and the PMRC are bent out of shape. What?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, and
You know,
yeah, Niedermeyer. Yeah, Mark Metcalf, who
yeah.
was Niedermeyer in Animal House. Yeah, but it's funny though because like Twisted Sister were incredibly popular in 1984 and 85. But then that like popularity like evaporated, and they were like they broke up by 1988, you know. um, which if you're a successful heavy metal band and you break up, it falls apart during the golden age of heavy metal. Wow, that is a
Yeah.
big old fail. I mean, it happened to Grim Reaper too. Um, but yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily a very fair value judgment because like things happen. It takes a lot to keep a band success to become successful and maintain success, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, Twisted Sister is kind of a joke to me. But you know, Dee Snider did you know, as much of a clown as he that portrays himself out as publicly, he's not a dope. And you know, he did testify or speak in front of the congressional hearing on this subject and kind of gave him what for. So did John Denver and Frank Zappa, and those guys were rad for doing that. Um,
Fuck yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and it's like when John Denver, who was signing autographs for these people before, like tells you guys like this is how Nazi Germany began. How dare you? Like that's
Mr.
for
Denver, I'm a big fan of your music. It's moved me.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I love
Piece
that.
of
I love
shit.
that. I love that about John Denver, and I love his
Yeah.
music anyway. He's wonderful. I'm not just a heavy metal guy. And R.I.P. John Denver. He was great. R.I.P. Frank Zappa. Um, but yeah, I mean, this song is whatever. It's ridiculous that they made it that this made the list. But I feel like it really was a political decision. Like, oh, this is very popular right now, so that's what we want to zero in on. But
Pretty much,
like,
yeah.
but you picked on the wrong person. Also, I should say, Dee Snider was the only person who was on the list who went and actually
Yeah.
like talked to those people. One band on the list wrote a song in response, and we'll get to that. Um, but yeah, let's see. Our next song, of course, we have Madonna, "Dress You Up." This is one's for sex again. I'm like, I guess this is a sex song. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta dig a little bit. Dress You Up in My Love, like all over your body is the most explicit lyric in the entire song.
and I'm like,
But
yeah, go ahead.
but they contextualize it at the beginning about how the guy who she's into has like fancy suits. And they literally are talking about what he's dressed in. If
Yeah,
if someone didn't tell you that it was a song about sex, you'd think maybe there was a crush, maybe, but
sure.
you wouldn't jump straight to, oh, she's gonna f that dude.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Again, the lyrics are pretty innocuous. It's suggestive, but you're gonna you're gonna be going for censorship over a suggestion? Really?
Yeah, come
Like,
on,
and
come on.
now it may come as a surprise to you. I've never listened to a Madonna album, but I have to think there've got to have been more just overtly explicit songs of hers to choose.
Virgin,
Like a
a
virgin.
fucking virgin.
I mean, in that song, she's talking about a guy whose dick is so big, it's like the first time for her. So, yeah, but whatever. They must have misunderstood that one too. You know?
Oh my.
Yeah. So anyway, um,
Also, about halfway through the song, there's this really fun guitar solo. I actually haven't heard the song since like the early '90s,
oh,
so I
okay.
didn't really appreciate it. This is actually probably my favorite pop song on this album.
Oh,
Good
okay.
one.
Yeah. It's not a
Yeah.
bad song.
No.
And yeah, yeah, it's pretty good and pretty ridiculous of a choice, to be honest. But again,
Yeah.
I'm sure they wanted Madonna because she was super popular. I get it. But again, I think you picked the wrong song, ladies. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, let's see. And then we've got Cyndi Lauper, She Bop, and okay, I'll give it to him on this one. It's
Ah.
it is about self pleasure. It is about using sex toys. Um, it's about female. There's even a lyric that says they haven't made a law against it yet. Um, but you know something? Guess
Yeah.
what? If a woman wants to have a song about masturbating, she should be allowed to have a song about masturbating. Um,
Les.
again, it is so much of this list is it's the insidious like desire to control or tamper down women's sexuality. Like, we want you to be like Nancy Reagan, Anita Bryant, Phyllis Schlafly, all these, you know, you know, just button up squares, who've never had an orgasm in their lives, you know.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Cindy was pretty great actually.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty cool.
yeah, and composition wise, the song's good stuff too, actually. I think,
Bebop bops.
yeah, it's
Hey,
it's like kind of a heavy synth pop song, but like, hey, okay, yeah, it's good musically. I can't deny that. So this is fun. Um, but yeah, let's see. Uh, we've got AC/DC with "Let Me Put My Love Into You," and the lyric, I'm gonna let me cut your cake with my knife. I'm like, okay, I always knew what that was about. I'm like, got it.
yeah.
A food analogy for sex, classic. But uh,
I'm your food
interestingly,
innuendo guy.
oh, your food innuendo guy. Oh man,
Yay.
so bad. I'm not gonna continue with that. But like, one thing I should note: this is the one song on Back in Black that AC/DC never performed live.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and um, this is a great album. There's one song I absolutely despise on it. That was a big hit for them. Uh, but other than that, I'm a Brian Johnson AC/DC guy for sure. Um, but yeah, again, it's one of the only two songs where they're like coming down on the fellas for like wanting to have sex, you know?
Like, okay, so ever since I was a kid, like, and the thing is the "Don't you struggle, don't you fight" lyric in this. Like,
Oh,
you
I
hear
never
iterations of
even
that.
thought about that. I never even thought about that. But go ahead.
Yeah. But you hear iterations like that in other songs where it's like, come on, baby, don't try to fight it, sort of stuff. And it's like, it makes you sound so fucking sleazy and pathetic. And I've never liked it.
Yeah.
And I have no way to segue into this, but I just wrote, "Don't you struggle, don't you fight, don't you worry. The house is taking 75% of the merch revenue tonight." How does that feel, asshole? Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's how that makes you sound. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that venues taking a merch cut is a fairly newer practice, which is not okay, but
No, no.
but interesting. Um, I could be wrong about that too, but yeah, I mean there is sort of it's not right, but there's sort of a lot of older rock songs where it's songs about guys wanting to get some, and yeah, the lyrics will kind of infer that the ladies need convincing,
Yeah.
and that's
It
not
could,
great, but
yeah,
it's worth
it could be
having a
tongue in
real
cheek.
conversation. It's worth having a real
It depends.
conversation.
Yes, yes. It depends on the context and everything. And it's like, my aunt and uncle were huge into AC/DC, and I remember them, like, I remember my aunt singing along to this song, and she's like, I'm like, well, some ladies, understand that maybe they get what I don't, you know, maybe.
Sure, but yeah, and it's one thing to once say, ah, come on, you know but if you're continuing the press, that's not really good.
Yeah.
um but yeah, uh eh, you know but yeah, AC/DC, whatever. um Here we go. Black Sabbath,
Ah,
Trashed, from Born Again, an album we love with
hey.
the one with Ian Gillan singing on it, on this wonderfully trashy album cover. I love it. But
And
they're I
but
think. Go ahead.
by the time this hit, like the PMRC, like 85, was he even singing for Black Sabbath anymore?
No, but the album's still out. It's still out. Was not an out of print album. It's still people. You know how, as rock fans, we
Uh,
go back to albums that aren't from like the current year of release. You know.
yeah.
Um, but it's kind of funny that they went after this song as an example of like, oh, drugs and alcohol, bad. Because the message is clearly like, I should not have gotten so fucked up. I should not wrap my car around that
Yeah.
tree. You know, I should not go driving drunk. It's saying don't do that. And then
exactly.
they're coming down on them for even addressing the subject at all. Like, right, because the old ostrich thing, if you just pretend something doesn't exist, that'll that's what we need for the kids, you
That'll
know.
solve the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's always like the mentality of the sheltering parent. It's like, isn't your job to prepare them for the world? And if you just hide all these things, guess what? They're gonna stumble even worse than if you, oh no, they accidentally had a drug or alcohol problem as a teenager and they needed some guidance from you as a parent. You know, you're
Oh,
so
jeez.
busy working that you know that living that American dream that you can't take responsibility for your own offspring again. But
And
no, that's the government's job.
yeah. And no,
Bullshit.
like you said, he's clearly in a state of regret, talking about how like feeling like he's grown and like reflecting on the shit that he did while he was trashed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like bottles of beer on the wall has a more negative message than this does.
Right. Um, but yeah, it's yeah, yeah. They just don't get
Yeah.
it. Let's see. When we've got okay, so we've got the Mary Jane Girls in my house. They did have a previous hit, a song called Candyman, and in the video, I will say, this is a sex song, by the way. Uh, in the video, there's like close-ups of like girls eating candy, and it's like definitely allusions to like given BJ's. In the
Gotcha.
video for Candyman, but this song, I don't know if they made a video for it or anything. But in my house, okay, it's a girl. It's inviting a guy over for sex, and baby, you're gonna have a great time. We're gonna do everything you want. Okay. Oh man, they are terrified of this. You know, um, that is just the most horrible thing in the world. Uh, like what? Um,
Oh, baby, I'm gonna massage your feet and cook you a turkey dinner. Oh, what? Like, dude, she's trying to have a good time. Fuck you, what they're doing in there.
yeah.
That's
Like,
how I
oh,
feel.
and guess what? What what consenting adults or even teenagers do behind closed doors isn't the government's fucking business. You know? And that's yeah, man. Uh,
I'm also going to say that this is actually the biggest strike against the PM. I officially 100% hate the PMRC because I didn't know this song existed. I fucking listened to it, fucking hated it. Fuck the PMRC. This is the worst thing they've ever done.
you hated this song?
Yeah, I hated it.
Oh, okay. I did not hate it.
Annoying as shit.
I didn't find it annoying. But that's cool. Your mileage may vary. I thought it was fine. Uh, but um, but yeah, this group was put together by I think I mentioned it earlier, but by Rick James, which is that's fun. But yeah, let's see what else do we have. Oh, okay. Oh, and to close out the Filthy 15, we have good old Venom. Uh, the song Possessed from the album Possessed. Um, Venom's fourth album, and it's interesting how they managed to make an album that sounded worse than Welcome to Hell uh, with this, and really Venom were clearly kind of like running out of ideas on this record. There's a few classics on this one, but it's kind of like of all of those, the ones with the original ones with Kronos, it's kind of the least of them. Um, but I do still like it. It's still Venom. But yeah, again, wow, the occult. You're making a problem out of a thing that's not even real. Um, how ridiculous. Um, like, like what a waste of energy. Oh my gosh. But again, it's the moral panic thing. Like, look, these people don't really care about those things. What they really want is to make sure that you are pacified,
Thinking like they are.
not well, yeah, that you're not thinking for yourself, that you are all you're doing is just making money for the capitalist who owns you and going to church and not thinking about anything cool or fun, and your only diversion is getting drunk at home after work. Rinse and repeat, you know, because what are the two things that make you stupid and close out your mind? Alcohol and religion. Um, so um,
I believe somebody called the opiate of the masses at one point.
Yeah. Somebody, I can't remember who that was. Uh, yeah, no, it was Karl Marx. But of course, it's still the Cold War, and there's the irony, or not irony, but like there it is. We're still fighting those godless communists. It's ridiculous. Um, the only reason we really had any problem with communist countries is because, like, if you want to have a global capitalist system, countries that aren't doing that are interfering with your going to that country and exploiting people and its resources and just commerce. You know,
Yeah, I'm just attributing the quote to Carl. I don't get into communism or ways of living and whatnot.
no,
But
but what I'm saying is like all of these things are like they're not they're not actually about what the people are saying they're about. Oh, we're protecting the children. No, it
no,
again,
no, they're not. Yeah,
it's
yeah, I got you.
all about that, like what Zappa said. They want that fascist theocracy, and they just want you to buy products, and they want to exploit the developing world because they can, and they're still doing that. And the
And
fight against communism was like, hey, but we want to go there and do this there, but we can't because Joe Stalin's in our way or Chairman Mao's in our way. you know. But anyway,
back to the just back to the Venom real quick.
oh yeah,
I realize they would have had a better attack if they like a plan of attack if they went after the fact that it's just so atmospheric and scary sounding that the kids like on that level they should rate it R just because it's actually a frightening sounding song to how
right,
horrible it's mixed and everything. But
right,
no, they're like, oh, the occult. It's like, they know what he's saying.
right,
I can't even tell what he's saying through half of the song.
right. Well, in this song, it's like, like I'm possessed by all that is evil. I make love to the dying whore. Like for the kids. But but yeah. So the PMRC. At the end of the day, we got the parental advisory sticker, the explicit lyrics tag that was de rigueur during the CD era. We saw it everywhere in the 90s, and it actually, in a lot of cases, increased sales on albums. So it kind of blew up in their
Probably
face.
helped. Yeah.
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
certain places like, Walmart wouldn't carry, stuff with that. But it's like, yeah,
Oh well.
it their plan succeeded and failed. So it's kind of interesting. But fuck them, you know,
Yeah.
and the PMRC dissolved some point in the 90s anyway. So, but like early to
Uh,
mid.
uh, about the sticker real quick. I read somewhere that Philip Bailey, Earth, Wind and Fire, Philip Bailey,
Hmm.
uh, in case there's more than one, said said he even pointed out that the sticker. I think it was before it was implemented. He said the sticker is probably going to act like a magnet to people. They're going to sit there and go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to like this," and like he
Hmm.
called it.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
and that's a
say. I
basic
just
psychology. You make something forbidden, people want it more. But if you
yeah.
just like take the stick out of your ass and just like, you know what? It's none of my fucking business. Let people buy and check out whatever they want. All of these things just kind of like whatever, like
Yeah.
they just kind of like plateau and then kind of, whatever. Um, but yeah, why don't we get in? We have 5 heavy metal songs to discuss that were written in response to the PMRC and this campaign. And we'll start with the band, one band who were actually on that at the Filthy 15 list, Judas Priest. Go ahead, show your shirt again, Chase.
Whoop.
There you go. Yeah, Priest rules. Yeah, so on 1986, they had the song Parental Guidance off of the album Turbo. And I will say, this song is pretty corny. I really feel like Priest's response is it's kind of naive and it sort of misses the mark because they really just chalk it up to being like a generation gap issue, which is only a tiny piece of the puzzle because really it is, as
Yeah.
we've discussed at length throughout this episode, is something far more insidious going on here. Um, because it's people going to closing off your access to information and ideas and decide for you, uh,
Yeah.
rather than let you use your own mind. Um, and that comes up in the next song we're going to talk about. But yeah, this is musically it's fine. Hey, it's Priest rules, but it's ultimately a pretty silly
Cheesy.
song, pretty silly
Yeah.
song. Um,
Yeah.
but the next track, oh my God, this is brilliant. I love this song, Alice Cooper and the song Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, so from Raise Your Fist and Yell. This is when Kane Roberts, the bodybuilder guitarist, was in the Alice Cooper band. Uh, but yeah, the song is like, hey, it says you want to rule us with an iron hand, change the lyrics and become Big Brother, uh, and also saying like things like we're not as stupid as you want to make us, which is something. Um,
Yeah.
and Alice says, I never walked away from what I know is right, but I'm going to turn my back on you. And pretty
Fuck
powerful
yeah, that's
stuff.
hard.
The lyrics are
Yeah.
so rad. This is like the best of all of these response songs, I have to say. Um, and but it's also pretty powerful considering Alice, look, is a son of a preacher and a conservative,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he is saying, "No, man, fuck you, big
Yep.
time." And because against they went after him all, not necessarily he didn't make their list or whatever, but he was, among these people. They're like, oh, clutching their pearls over. It's like, no, you picked the
Yep.
wrong target, bitch.
Once
And he
again.
and he
Yep.
really showed them, and he nailed them to the wall with this song. It's so great. I love this
This
song.
is the this is the song. Actually, my ex, her dad was a huge Alice Cooper fan, and this is the song he chose to have me listen to try to get me to be an Alice Cooper fan. And it
Oh man,
works.
that's awesome. That
Yeah.
is great. That is cool. But yeah, this song rules. I love it. I have kind of teased Alice or kind of like slagged him off a little bit because in the 80s he kind of like he was an innovator in the 70s, and in the 80s he was a follower. First he went new wave and had these experimental records that nobody wanted, and then he just went hair metal. And it worked for
Yep.
him, and that's kind of what he's done since. But he made some really fun records in that period, and Raise Your Fist and Yell, Constrictor, and Trash are all really good, and Hey Stupid are all great records. And I really should give Alice more credit. Those were fun. Also, Hey Stupid is another really great socially conscious song as well. Not on this subject. Um, but yeah, there's that one, and then we've got uh, Megadeth from So Far So Good So What. We have Hook in Mouth, and wow,
Yeah.
this is a scathing rebuke of the PMRC and just censorship in general. The lyrics are really great. You got some thoughts on this one, Chase?
No, I mean it's a great retort.
Yeah,
It's I would argue that maybe this would probably be the best of the retorts.
it's right up there. I think at these two definitely. Um,
Yeah. And yeah, just fucking stick it to him, man. Goddamn.
yeah, and this is like my favorite period from Megadeth. They're just like
Uh,
Dave like at at the angriest, and it's actually righteous anger, and Dave's not missing the mark this time.
there we
Which
go. Okay.
sometimes is quite a bit later, but here he's right on the money. And he and Ellefson wrote this song together, and it's great. I love Hook and Mouth. It's honestly one of my favorite Megadeth songs ever. It's so good. But yeah, rad shit. And good to see some thrash metal on
Yes.
this as well. But yeah, and then the next one, of course, also we have Flotsam and Jetsam with "Hard on You" from No Place for Disgrace. Now, this is a pretty good response, and the anger's real in there. I think
Yeah.
lyrics are a little boneheaded, a little kind of like, I mean, it includes "what the fuck" and like "you muzzle us, we'll kick your ass." I mean, like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe go through
Yeah.
another draft lyrically here, but again, it's kind of like, wait, can't you buy? Are we not allowed to think anymore? Is a lyric, can't I
Yeah.
buy what I want to hear? And so yeah, it's saying like, no, again, you can't. Oh, we're not allowed to trust our own minds and judgment. Fuck you. So I'm into that. I'm into that. You have some thoughts here, Chase?
Flotsam and Jetsam on this channel.
We do. We do. We
And
love the
yeah,
Flots, the sainted
and
band of this
no,
program.
yeah, no, I don't really have much to add. You kind of nailed what I said. Probably another draft. Yeah, the hyper aggression, like you said, the anger is real, but kick your way to don't jump to violence if you want to have an argument, if you want to have a discussion.
Right.
Maybe they
You
didn't want
know.
a discussion. I don't know.
Yeah. But hey, they wrote it. The song exists, and a song does kick ass. So
Yeah.
so there's power in there. Again, I think one of the strengths of thrash metal in general is not just the great musicianship, really making like just some of the best heavy metal that is possible, but the social consciousness in this genre, I think, stands apart from the bulk of heavy metal in general, to be honest. Because most
No,
heavy
I
metal
hear
is
you. I hear
just
you.
is fan most heavy metal is fantasy stuff, or uh, whether we're talking the wizards and warriors type, or it's the sexual fantasy kind, or just like, dude, let's party, and that's fine too. But again, talking about issues and things going on in society are important, and I love. I think it's one of the things I love the most about this genre, specifically thrash metal. Um, but yeah, we got one more song, and I did not realize that this was
You were
about the P.M.R.C. But yeah, Danzig, Mother. But yeah, it makes sense. It's like, can you keep them from in the dark for life? Can you hide them from the waiting
yeah,
world? That's
yeah.
that's what I've been talking about the whole time. It's like, sheltering your kids doesn't isn't going to make them great citizens. It's going to make them blind entering adulthood, like I was. And
Ooh.
and it's bad parenting. Um, have If you're concerned about the media that your child is consuming, you need to actually be a parent and have a real conversation with them. Um,
I,
and also know that they might say, "Hey, fuck you." Um, you can't control another person completely, and nor should you be
yeah.
able to. Um, we have minds for a reason. Sorry, not a robot, and I'm not. I'm not anyone's puppet either. So, um, but yeah, this is a great song, and I love the power of it, and the what Danzig's talking about in the song is real shit and right on. Um,
I seriously can't believe I went that long without knowing that this was a rebuke to sort of thing. It's a good song. You hear it all. I mean, I heard it on the radio forever,
yeah,
and
you'll
I
probably
just
turn on the radio and hear it right now. Like,
yeah.
it's an enduring hit. But yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes it's like kind of hiding in plain sight. I mean, I think I knew some of what the song was about, but I didn't know it was directly like a rebuke of the P.M.R.C. But yeah, so there we go. I'll just put this up. Oh, remember this thing? Boo. But but yeah, that's episode 100 of this show, folks. Thanks for sticking around for 100 episodes. We're gonna do hundreds more probably. Um, that's the plan. We're still, as long as we're Chase and I are still having fun, we're gonna keep doing this show. Um,
Damn right.
so so yeah, uh, keep on rocking in the free world, gang. While we still have one. Chase, you got to sign off, or is that good?
Uh, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.